I just broke one of my own rules when I just went to gas this 2020 Chevrolet Suburban that we have here on the lot as a certified pre-owned. Just came in on trade about 7-8 days ago, went through the shop, got certified, got detailed. We just got an appointment on it, so they're on their way down now. They'll be here around 1 o'clock, which is in about 50 minutes, and hopefully we put this deal together. Now, the reason I went and gassed it, it was on low fuel. I'm confident, and I'm gonna assume that we're gonna spot this vehicle, meaning we're gonna sell it, we're gonna deliver it today. Suburbans are very hard to come by, especially in the pre-owned market, and to have a 2020 in stock with 28,000 miles on it, you know, there's no wonder why there's already people calling on it and there's somebody on their way down. So I went to the gas station. Now what my rule is screw the plate onto the back of the vehicle. And that would be right here on the back of the vehicle. I take out one of these screws, I put the plate on, I screw it down. This way it's visible. If I'm driving down the street and a police officer, somebody comes by, it's on the vehicle. A lot of times I used to put it like in the back window, but with the tinted glass, you really don't see it that well. So it's best to just screw it right on the back of the car. One thing I used to always do in the early days of me selling cars was take the plate, and this is what a lot of salespeople do, and just put it up on the front dash like that. But I had a bad experience with that, which I want to tell you real quick, and why I recommend you never put the plate on the front dashboard. The story goes, we ordered from a pizzeria not far from here, and I said, listen, I'll pick the food up. So back then, with the old ownership, a lot of times we would just take a plate, grab a used car, and we would run around town, you know, rather than use our own car. So I grabbed the plate, I jumped in a vehicle. I don't remember what it was. I don't remember the kind of vehicle it was, but I took the plate and I just put it on the front dash. Now this dashboard has like this big bumped up section, so it might not actually happen here, but it did happen with the vehicle I was driving. What happened was, as I was driving, I was making a right-hand turn, so I'm looking to my left to make sure no traffic was coming. I turned the wheel quick like this to turn, and I started accelerating. When I accelerated with force because there were cars coming down the road, and I wanted to make sure I can get out quick. And when I did, the plate slid off the dashboard and slid in between the steering wheel as I was turning the wheel. Now, it's not gonna really work here, but eventually what had happened was the plate got stuck like this. When I went, see, I can't do this with one hand. When I went to turn, let me use my leg. When I went to turn the wheel back, wait, long story short, the plate got caught between the dashboard and the steering wheel, and it locked the steering wheel in a turned position. Now this happened in such a split second, there was nothing I could do. It was a Nissan Xterra. I just remember what vehicle it was. It was a used Nissan Xterra that we had. So as I was making that turn, the plate got locked in between the wheel and the dash. I couldn't straighten the wheel out. When I did, as much as I could, the plate like bent as much as it could before it was jammed up. Meanwhile, it was too late. I had actually jumped the curb and went into the grass right along the side of the road. It was right up the street by the Home Depot and stuff up here on Route 10. Since that day, and up until today, because today's the first day I did it in such a long time, I never put the plate on the dashboard, and I recommend you don't either. This is a really nice truck. This is, like I said, 28,000 miles. It's a 2020. It's an LT. It has luxury package, has sunroof, has DVD, bucket seats in the second row. It's got a nice set of 20-inch wheels. It's in satin steel, which is a fantastic color for the Suburban. This is just, it's a great buy. This is GM certified, so if we look around, you'll notice, you can see by the markings, brand new tires. So we actually put 3 tires on this. It didn't need 4. I'm kind of assuming that the customer must have replaced 1 tire, because this back left tire is, actually this is the back right tire is relatively new. So they only had to put 3 on. We checked for, obviously, brake pad measurements and all that sort of stuff with certified. It's a 172-point inspection that the vehicle goes through, and it gives the buyer confidence that they're not going to have to maintain the vehicle as soon as they get it. It also makes our job as a salesperson a lot easier because it's got a lot of great selling points. So I'm going to pull this up front, have it ready so when a customer drives in, they see it right off the bat. When they show up, we'll do a demo, we'll have them test drive it, we'll see what they think, and we'll hopefully put this deal together today. Another couple things I have in the works. I am working a previous customer, a deal on this CX-5. CX-5 is for the father, and this 2018 Malibu will be for his daughter. So we're working on a 2-car deal. He seems like he wants to get these wrapped up before the end of the month. So if I can confirm those 2 deals via phone or email and sell the Suburban today, that would be fantastic. My customer has just arrived, just long drive, using the restroom. We're gonna show him the Suburban. We're gonna see what he thinks. It's 1:09. It's literally like 5 to 6 minutes since my customer started looking at the truck. Things are moving very fast. He's very interested, and he just went to get his registration and his stuff for his car. He's trading in a Malibu, Chevy Malibu. All right, guys, sold. That's right, folks, we got ourselves a car deal. We're gonna bring this Suburban over to detail, have them clean it up. It was just detailed, but we wanna make sure it's perfectly clean. It's got some salt on it just from being in the air and all the salt that's been dropped on the roads the last few days. And then once I finish this deal up, I'm gonna have a quick discussion with you about the sales process and why you have to have good situational awareness. That's what we're gonna talk about in the rest of this video. All right, so let's touch on and talk about situational awareness. And this is gonna be for salespeople out there. Maybe just a little bit of advice that I can give on how I handle business here at the dealership with my customers and something I've noticed over the years. Now, one thing you do as a salesperson is you have a process you follow. You can find any salesperson training guide for the car business. It's gonna tell you the same thing. Meet and greet, build rapport, fact find a vehicle, demo the vehicle, test drive the vehicle, negotiate the deal, close the deal, deliver the car, right? So it's the same process all the time. And you do want to follow that process and you want to follow those steps. You don't want to skip something, because if you skip something, you're just lessening the chance that you'll actually sell the vehicle, right? Like if you skip a test drive, you're lessening the chance you're going to sell that vehicle because now the customer is not in it. They're not enjoying it. They're not, falling in love with it, all those sorts of things. And those sort of things are actually what it takes a lot of times for someone to make that decision, for them to make a decision. How do you buy a car without test driving it? How do you buy a pair of shoes without trying them on, right? Same thing. But you have to have situational awareness. So in the example of the customer who purchased the Suburban from us, what I noticed coming in, that he was pretty fast paced and it seemed like he already knew what he wanted. His concern was the vehicle, the space. He already knew he was looking for one. He likes the vehicle. He sent some pictures of the color to his wife because the car was just here so recently we didn't have photos of it online. But I noticed as I was talking about like different options and things like that, he was kind of like, yeah, no, that's all cool. It's all good. Everything looks good. It's all cool. I just, the space is what I need and I need a Suburban and that's great. So at that point, I kind of curtailed my presentation and sped it up a little bit. It's like, let's not just go over a bunch of things that we don't have to go over. If this gentleman's already happy and excited about the car and thinks that's what he may want to go through with. I then offered a test drive. When I offered the test drive, he kind of said, well, can I just take it around the lot real quick? So at that point, we were both in the truck. I said, sure, just pop it in gear and we can go. So we looped around the lot quick. And he's like, yeah, this is exactly what I expected it to be. So we then moved right inside. And it was within probably 10 minutes or so of him coming to the dealership that we went inside to start talking about his trade value and the numbers and how he wanted to handle the buying of the vehicle if he chose to do so. Now, the reason I want to bring this up is because a lot of times in a lot of training guides that I see, a trainer will tell you word tracks you can use to get the customer to test drive the car. Things like, well, Mr. Customer, I want to make sure you know everything about this vehicle and you test drive this vehicle to experience it fully. This way you can better make that decision for you and your family. And I get all that. All that stuff makes sense and you should do that in most cases. However, you don't want to drag a process out too long if your customer is ready to go and ready to buy and ready to take delivery of the vehicle. So I just felt this was something I could bring up in a video today to mention. If you have any questions about the process and how I handle things, ask in the comments. I'd be happy to help out. My whole sales process and my sales presentation is geared to be easy for the customer. Low pressure, informative, and comfortable. I have a very conversational style. When I'm with my clients, I don't feel like I'm using word tracks. I'm not trying to sell them. I'm not trying to persuade them. I'm just giving information, having a conversation like two friends would have at a party or at a dinner table or something like that. And at the end, hopefully, they decide to make that purchase for themselves. So in any event, thank you for watching. I didn't expect to make this video. It's Friday the 30th. We got one more day left in 2022. So Happy New Year. We have 2 more days after that we can deliver cars because with General Motors, our month actually ends on Tuesday the 3rd. And with this Suburban, I hit that tier bonus I was looking for. Now we just got to sell hopefully 3 more before the end of the month and hit that next tier, that top tier.